Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, baby. I hit the wrong button. Today we're looking at Moomu Modular Synthesis by Studio 6+1. Are you ready, Oge? Let's Oge, baby. That's the right button. There we go. I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Boom. What's happening, folks? Today we're finally taking a look at Moomu Modular Synthesis by our good friend Studio 6+1, who's here in the crowd. Look at that, there he is right there. So before we get into it, I want to welcome you all here today. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching on the replay, hello to you as well too. But I got some really exciting news because I went out and filmed Walk With Me, not yesterday, the day before, and have been super excited about the new filming style. I've been like taking some lessons in editing and movie production, all this stuff, whatever. So I'm more than halfway through. I'll give you a gander at a bit of how Walk With Me is put together before we get into today's app. Here it is. So a bit of how Walk With Me is put together. For this particular episode, let me tell you, 355 clips. 355 clips filmed. You can see it there. What a mess. And slowly, I'm going through all of these. We're almost there. I think we're up to about here. And this is all we've got left to edit today, and we should have this up ready. But I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of this week's episode. I'll shut up. Let's give you a couple of minutes just to chill and relax, just to get ready. And I'll come back and say hello to you. Then we'll get into this app because I need to relax and chill. All right. Let's have a listen. My name is Jade, and this is... All right. There you go. There's a little bit of a relaxing get into it before Walk With Me. And you may have seen some little stylistic choices there. Things are a little bit different. I'm just changing up the way up I film and stuff. Been watching a whole lot of storytelling, video production, all this kind of stuff. I really want to take it to a next level. And I think there's like 10 songs in this week. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 10 tracks, I think, already, and there's probably going to be another couple of tracks involved. So hopefully you can come and join us for that. Going to whet your appetite for Walk With Me, but today we're taking a look at Moomu. Now, Moomu is a modular synthesis. What is modular synth? Let's talk about what modular synth is, so at least you have an idea. Most of you know when you open up a synthesizer, there's an oscillator and a filter and an envelope and all these kind of things, and LFO and all this. These are all components that make up a synthesizer. When I first started doing this channel back in 2020, I knew nothing about synthesis, and you can tell by watching some of my early shows because I'm like, what the fuck is an oscillator? But over time, obviously, where you pick these things up and you start to understand what order these things go in, but the more you look at these synthesis and apps that have all this already put together, whereas modular synthesis is the building blocks of synthesis. It's all the same things. It's all the filters, the LFOs, the oscillators, it's all of that stuff. But of course, it's all in little modules, and you need to put these pieces together yourself. It's all up to you to build your thing. It's like a complete and empty template for you to build a synthesizer. That's exactly what it is. And then once all those modules are put into place, of course, you need cables to connect them. Pretty much like guitar cables, you know, to send patches through to other patches. So when you take a look at things like photos of modular synthesis, you see things like this. And probably freak the fuck out and go, what is going on, man? I have no... And I do that too. I still look at modular synth and I'm not good at it. I'm definitely not. It's one of my weakest points in relation to making music. Why am I telling you all of this? Because it's relevant, because I'm here giving you a demo of modular synthesis. So it's made up of a few things, modular synth. It's, of course, the modules, so your oscillators, filters, envelope generators, sequences, and all that kind of stuff. Then you've got your patching. So as I said, you've got to patch these things together. They must connect from one thing to another so they can send sound, so they can send noise throughout the whole module experience. The major advantage to using modular synthesis is flexibility. You can essentially build whatever you want with synthesis. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who don't have time to do that. So there's that. The modular synth is a really big hobby. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Control voltages. Many modules use control voltages. These signals modulate parameters to other modules, creating dynamic and complex sounds. And the key to the major thing that really is inviting for modular synth, of course, for most people, is the versatility to have control over your synth and not just buy a synth and, you know, here's some patches and go. But there's a whole... With music, there's so many ways to make music, you know what I mean? And Eurorack, yeah, Eurorack, all that kind of stuff with modules. There's no wrong way to make music. There's no right way. Whatever floats the boat. I just am inexperienced with modular synthesis. In saying that, I just want to put that out there so you know my level of skill when looking at this. Now, Moomu is available on the App Store, and it's had a price drop since it first came out. I think it was I can't remember the exact price, but it's down to $9.99. I don't know if that's a sale. I can't remember. My brain is scrambled today. It's also had updates as well. So we've had an update recently for it, with navigational improvements for the patching area, pinching, and all this kind of stuff, so UI stuff. We've had some graphical improvements, envelope generators, minimum time reduced, fixed stability issues, 64-step sequencer has been included, and a multi-channel audio output for your drums, which we'll cover a little bit. So it's on sale. It was $12.99. So I was kind of sort of right, but it's gone down to $9.99. So get on it before the end of May. So we've got plenty of time for you to get on it. $9, good to go. It's AUv3. It's iPad only, I do believe. So it won't run on your iPhone or anything like that. There's no in-app purchases, nothing like that. It's just a one done bang deal. You can use it as a standalone and as an AUv3. Okay, so pricing out the way, let's open up Moomu as a standalone. Here it is. This is your first splash screen you will get, and it tells you basically welcome to the thing. You can turn off the don't show again if you want to do that. We can do that. Click. So that's not going to come up ever again. And this is most of the time what you'll come up with. Actually, this isn't the one you'll probably come up with when you first load it. You'll probably get, I think it's this one. There we go. So you'll get this one when you first load up, I'm pretty sure. There are a heap of examples in here, and some of these examples have notes attached to them. So you can see this one has a note. It says the first patch. This is the patching area. Notes can be played on the keys pad module or open the ISO tab for a full screen keyboard. More examples on the forum. So there's a forum at studio6plus1.com if you want to find out more about that. So looking at this patch straight away, that you'll notice, of course, we've got a VCO, we've got a filter, an envelope, VCA, some plate reverb, audio ins and outs, and we've got a keypad down the bottom. So if you can pretty much use any kind of module in here if you can find it in the module section. So over here, I can touch these keys using my, where's my camera flipped? Oh, sorry guys, my camera has decided to have a little move during the night when I was asleep, because that's what happens. The gremlins come in and they just say, let's move around all Jade's cameras. There we go. It's a bit better. It's still not perfect. Man, you can tell my Virgo, can't you? Get that right. There we go. That'll do. So now with this keyboard here, I should be, if I bring up my sounds, so we have a keyboard. This is the presets here. Now if I grab this note here and play it and move my cursor, I'm going to zoom in on this just so you can see it a little bit more, the keyboard. So I can go up and change the velocity and down and left and right to change the pitch. Which is pretty damn cool. So, and even in this keyboard now, with this layout we've got here, this is your patch bay, which you'll be working the most in once you've added things in here. Let me just pull this back out. With 2 fingers, you can pinch and you can square that away in the corner, so you can shrink that right down, or you can pinch with 2 fingers and you can bring them up nice and big as well, like so. Move that around, so you can move it all around and all that jazz, so it's nice and easy to understand the play area. You've got some little sliders as well here, so if you pinch in, you can actually move these little sliders too, go up and down, so you can do all that. Well, if you add more stuff, so sorry, when I get larger, so you can see I've got these little sliders, I can drag up and down on the side and down the bottom here, I can move that as well, pinch back out. So that is your play area. Let's talk about, you know what I haven't done? I haven't said hello to you all, have I? Hello. Let's call some names. Ali, Clayton, Jamie, Semtex Cow, Justine Kasprick, Pausing Guitars, Hugh Caldwell. I don't know how I forgot to do that. Trimmer Bear, Frank Terzo, hello. Have I missed anyone? Thomas Christ, Lysol Leela, Ali's in the house. Who else? Studio 6. And is there anyone else I might have missed? Does I go down the bottom? Bradley. Hello, it's him, Bradley. There's Bradley. Bradley's there as well too. Boom. And Denise is in the house. Joel Crouch is here too. Hello, hello, hello. Let's get back into this. So back over here. Let's talk about the little controls down the side. I tell you what really gives me some old school vibes about this, and most things, you know, software that looks like this, it's got a real feel to it that I remember, you know, using Cool Edit as a kid and all that stuff. So to the side here, we've got a play button. That's not going to come into any we're not going to be able to do anything with that because we've got nothing to play. We've got a zoom button. So I can zoom with this and I can like pinch this back out and I can touch the zoom to bring everything back to fit in the screen. So this is in the top left hand side. We've got a lock button. So this little lock button allows any of these jacks that I've put in here, right, to stay in place, any of these leads. So if I have this unlocked up here and I grab this, well, it's and I bump it by accident, well, that's going to knock it out of its slot. But with this lock button, that's going to stop any of our cables coming out. We also have a lock button for any of the dials. So if you pay attention, I'll zoom in. See how this dial here has a little line around it on the outside? If I hit lock, they are all gone. And I can't turn any of these dials now. So you won't lose any of your settings you've got. So they're really handy. 2 little lock buttons up the top there. You've got a help manual, which opens up in your browser. Like so. Here it is. So We've got a huge document in here. It's massive. There's heaps in there for you to go through at your own leisure to understand. Now, I'm not doing I don't have the time to do an absolute total full tutorial today. We're going to get through the basics, but that's pretty much what you need to understand for this. Color here. So you have the choice of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colored cables here. So if I choose this, I'm going to have this colored cable, and it's quite important to know what cables you're using. Like you might want to use all blue cables for effects or all yellow cables for this, so you know exactly what's going on. Because if you just using all the same colors, you're going to get confused. That's what it is. You've got an undo and redo button over here. They work really well. Clone buttons, let's talk about those shortly. So if I click on one of these modules up here, I can clone this. So I can clone this module really simple with these 2 clone buttons. Now, there's something you need to understand about these clone buttons. The bottom one, so the top one will just make a clone. So if I click, let's just say click this filter here and we clone it, it's going to make a complete copy of that filter. I'm going to undo that and get rid of it. But if I click the filter and then choose the second one underneath, it's going to clone the filter and keep all of the cables that are connected to it. Very, very, very handy for, quickly making drums. You need to make another drum. You need to make another sample and all that stuff. Very quick to do that, and all the cables will jump across when you need them to. And if you don't need cables to come across, you would just select the second one. Let's undo that. Like so, boom. And also you can click on one of these and you can hit delete, and that will delete it. So underneath your clone buttons, let's undo that and bring it back. We also have a random. So if you click this, it's going to randomly generate settings on your selected module. So we'll undo those. So you can just randomize stuff. And we have we can reset. So I can take this envelope here, click on it, hit reset, and that'll bring it all back to its basic settings when you first install it. Let's undo that. Doosh. And also we have these rows. So let me tell you about rows. So you can see here, this project here is in 2 rows. You can keep building things on and on over here. Like I can keep just dragging more and more stuff over here. Over here, you can just keep going and going. Let's just keep adding. So you can see I've added a whole bunch of things over here. Or I can take a module and say, you know what? I want to add it down here. So these are rows. This top one is our top row, and we have a second row here. You can also create new rows here also. So you can click on one of the modules within the row, and then click new row, and you will get a row in the middle to start putting stuff in. You can delete that row as well. You can delete rows. Let's just undo. You can remove rows. You can move everything around. It's completely up to you. You can grab things. Let's just come back over here. So you've got complete and utter flexibility to do all of that. Let's delete that row. We can come back. Actually, we'll just go. There we go. So we're back to where we are with our sound. Hold down a note, and I can't because I've added all these stupid things in here that aren't connected anymore, yeah? Which is what happens. So let's just come back up here, close out, and we'll reload this patch back at the beginning. Oh, does it keep it? There we go. Does it automatically save? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't actually know that. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to remove these, because boom and boom and a boom, we get rid of that, and we'll get up here, and we've got our sounds back, right? Everything's connected. Relax, dude. So what I'm going to do now is load up one of my presets. Where are we? And and show you how to start building a patch. And we'll talk about these sections over here as well. So I've made this little patch here really quickly. There's nothing like hard about it or anything. Okay, so let's take a look at the browser over the side first where we have this open. There's a little X up the top here. Whenever you click this, it closes. So whenever you open any of these tabs to the side, everything opens over here. If you want to close this, it closes back out. We've got modules. Here's all your modules. Let's scroll through them. So you got ADSRs, all passes. I mean, it's ridiculous how much there is. Chants, audio ins and outs, clocks, CV sequences, CV to MIDI, because it's a little bit different when you're opening this up as an AUv3 because we're in standalone at the moment. Delays, drum samples, envelopes, drum sequences, flanges, reverbs, delays, filters, LFOs, MIDI monitoring. I mean, look at mixers. I mean, it's just fucking nuts how many modules there are in here, right? Now, if you want to find something really quickly, you've got a search bar up the top, and you can just come in here and write VCO, and you're going to get all the VCOs that are available to you. So you've got this sine VCO and a wavetable here. If I want to type in like a filter, obviously you're going to type a filter. You're going to get all pass filter, filters. Everything's really easy to find. And then once you find something, all you got to do is just drag it in. In fact, let's clear this patch out of here and we'll start fresh with an init patch. So across the top, so we're in modules. Let's come down here to presets, and these are your folders, right? So you'll have, when you first open this examples folder, when you tap on it, it opens up and you've got a whole lot more folders. You can make folders, right? So you can load, save as, rename, erase, share, and create new folders and go up and down. So pretty standard stuff. Whenever you click on something, oops, like so, double tap, it's going to load up the patch. And you're good to go. We hit run. What's in this one? I don't even know what's in this one. It was a drum sequencer. So presets are easy to actually click. Let me just get out of here for a second. Come down here. All right, cool. So double tap on a folder and you'll get more. Double tap on a folder again, you'll get more. Pretty easy stuff. If you want to create an init patch or start from fresh, hit new. And now we have a plain blank little patch bay ready to go. Now I want you to pay attention to what it's loaded in here. So you have been given an audio in and out. Obviously everything needs to have audio to go out at the end. So this is what goes at the end most of the time in your chain, but it will always start with something like this. It's always in there because it's a necessity, right? Whatever you build from here is completely on you. It's up to you. It's your world. You do whatever you fucking want. So let's try and build something, shall we? Well, obviously we're going to need, I don't know, what are we going to need? We're going to need something like a VCO. Maybe we could do that. So we'll just do a search and I'll choose a wavetable. Now to add anything, you can just drag it. So you've got that option just to drag things across, or you can click on wherever you, so if I click on this audio in and out, and now I double click, it will go after what I selected. So what you've got selected here, right, all good, that's selected. So whatever you sit next, that's going to go there next. That's going to go there next, just by double tapping. So you don't have to do any dragging or anything like that, but it is easy. So we've got a wavetable here. We're going to need an envelope. It's going to need to go into an envelope. And look, you're probably watching me do this going, yeah, but how do you know that? Well, the best way to learn this stuff is to go and look at the patches that are in here, because they show you what the fuck is going on, don't they? That's the way, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Let's do this. In fact, I don't even need to keep this here. Let's come over and look at simple. Let's just come in here and do a. So you can see here we've got a VCO, an envelope. It can go into a filter, but it's going to end up going into this out. So let's just come back here. Give me a sec, and we'll rebuild this patch again, because we can. Modules. So let's do that again. VCO. We'll find this VCO. Spelling. We'll bring our wavetable in here. Let's grab an envelope. There's our envelope. Let's put in a delay or a reverb or a delay. Let's put in a delay, because there's a delay in here. We'll throw that there, and we'll take this. We'll throw that at the back. And now we can start putting this together. So VCO, we want to put this into, what am I doing here? We need to go, in fact, fuck me. Get it together, Jade. Let me come back to my presets. It's early, folks. Where are you? Over here. Jade, get there, you fucking scumbag. That's not the one I want. I want this one. That's the one I want. Actually, I want this one. There we go. No, come back here. Presets. That's the one I want. So you'll notice we've got this MIDI to CV here, right? For this particular patch. Now, this is what you'd need to have for for using an AUv3. Sorry, I'm going all over the place. I'm a bit lost already. Get it together. So this, you can see basically what I had here: MIDI to CV, wavetable, envelope, audio out, and we got sound. Now, you don't have to use the MIDI to CV when you're in here, unless you want to use this keyboard. I'm using an external keyboard. So let's build this patch again. Third time's a charm, isn't it, folks? Man, getting it together today. So we are doing... Oh, I'm not even paying attention, Thomas, today. So you can either add a clock in here if you want. So you can add a clock in here if you want, or you can add the CV. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump straight over into into AUM, because I prefer. I'm not going to ever use this as a standalone. So let's do that. Let's jump over here to AUM, and let's load it up in here, because it is AUv3. Boom. And you're going to get the same load screen. I'm just going to turn that off for now. And let's go and build this module again from scratch in here. So let's hit new. And you'll notice, see the difference when I hit new in here? It adds the MIDI to CV in here, right? So this is because we're using MIDI through AUM. So you're going to get this as opposed to setting a project in the standalone. So let's go and add our modules back like we were doing before. And we'll go VCO, wavetable, we'll throw that in here. We'll get an envelope. There it is. Throw that in here. And this is enough to create a patch, believe it or not, yeah? So I'm going to come in here. We're going to take our V out. So from here into here, we're going to take our gate from here into the gate on the envelope. And we need, so I'm just using these patches as I've selected now. Just give me a second here. What have we got over here? Volume. Good, 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 good. And I want to take the start. So if we connect a keyboard as well up here, we got sound coming through, but we need to send all the ins and outs. So we need to send an out from here. In fact, let's just, we'll just use all the same colors for just at the moment. So we need to send an out into the input of the VCA, and the VCA has to go out and into the audio out. And we have sound. That's how easy it is just to make a simple patch. We might want to add a reverb in here, or a delay like we're going to do. And we've got a delay. Let's just drop that before. So we're going to have to change this cabling now. So we can take this out to the input of the delay and the output of the delay to here. So we've got sounds. It's a wavetable. So we've got controls in here to... We've got an envelope connected, so we can pull this down and use the ADSR as we would like anything else. And now that we have a sound in here, right? Now we can do something like add a harmony bloom and send this out. Hopefully we're doing all this right. That's connected. And we're off. Okay, so of course, being a modular synth, it's got a whole heap of effects, but being able to use it as an AUv3 opens the doors up to so much more, because you can add your own effects and everything in the chain. Here now, this works in Logic and Cubasis and GarageBand. The one thing I'm going to tell you about today is that, as I'm not going to be able to cover all this stuff, I suggest you go over to the link in the description and go and check out Studio 6+1's channel, because he's got a whole heap of tutorials that go much, much deeper than I possibly ever can. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that's really cool, we just made a quick sound in here. You know the deal. You can add whatever you want in here, and you can make, there's generative modules. There's so much you can fucking do. It's just ridiculous. But let's clear this out and try something else, because you can do drums as well. I'm just going to start afresh. Let's come over to our presets and hit new. I'm going to come to my things here. And where are we? We've got some drums here. So let's just take a look at this. So if this is our drums out. So this is one of the presets, and I'm just going to close this window. So you can see there's a lot going on here. Now, most people, you know, for those of you who aren't into modular synth, this is going to look like an absolute fucking mess. It does to me sometimes, but you can see, look at all these cables. There's a lot of work that goes into this that creates, when you hit play, wicked stuff, huh? So we'll put one together. We'll put some drums together and just get the basics of one put together. So I'll show you that in a second. But this is one of the new things that's in here. So you can see with this particular setup, when I hit play, right, it's playing everything in this particular patch. Every single drum sample with the VCA running after it. But I want to do a multi-out. Can I do multi-out? You can do multi-out, and I'll show you where you would set your multi-out. So if we scroll down here, you'll see our mixer is sending an output here into, so it's going all the way down here and into our audio out. We can remove this by dragging the chord away and letting go, and that chord will go. If we change this from out to post and drag this into in and hit play, we're only now hearing the kick drum. But if you look over here, you can see in the audio out, there's more. There's drums going on. There's definitely drums happening there, but we're only hearing the kick. That's because when we move it to post, we've changed this to a multi-out. So how do we set up a multi-out? I'm glad you asked. Let's delete this. All you need to do is add tracks. Let's just add a bunch of tracks. And then up the top here, we're going to go to multi-bus instances and choose. And we're going to do this for the same way, all the way along. And each of these tracks now and we have the complete flexibility to come into each of these channels and add our own effects, record them into individual channels if we want, import them somewhere else. Now, of course, it's not perfect in GarageBand, GarageBand in Logic, but again, because we're not going to have time to do all that, go and check out Studio 6 Plus One's video. Shows you really easily how to do multi-outs in Logic as well. Good stuff. But let's build something. Let's build some drums. Just a simple kit. Now I think that I'm not going to, as I said, not going to go too crazy today because I don't know enough. But if you do, you're going to have an absolute blast with this because it's really good. And haven't had any crashes, really simple interface. Oh, another thing I want to cover too. So we've got our modules, we've got our presets, we've got rows. So you can actually save rows as well too. So we come back over here, just say I like just this row, right? Just this. I can click up here and say, okay, let's save this row. And I can sit here and write, so test row and hit enter. And now I have this row here. So I can add this row multiple times just by double tapping. So you can save your rows really easily. Really, really good stuff. You can erase them and rename them. So that's the difference between presets and rows. Just so you know, there is a difference. Rows are the rows that go along here in your palette where you're making stuff. And presets are where you've got your patches, your full patches, not just the rows. We've got some settings in here too. So toolbar position, icons with text, zooming, some colors. If you don't like the colors, you can come in here and play around, turn into Van Gogh and do whatever you want. I don't care. It's all up to you. But before I do, where am I going today? You think I'm doing all right? All right. Well, I believe you. I believe you. So I want to talk about this thing at the top here. So you'll notice up the top, we've got this row of stuff, these little knobs up here, right? Now, these are really cool. These are like your little quick knobs. So, because you can see, this can get really small. You got a lot of things down here, right? You got a lot of knobs to worry about. And you know what they say. Nobody likes to have to handle a lot of knobs. Anyway, so what is going on? So what I was going to say is you see these sections up here, right? You can add any of these knobs up the top here so you can get to them really easy. There's a little edit button up here in the top corner. And when it changes color, like that, see how it changes color? You can come in here and you can add. So I might want to go in and say, I want to add, let's just close this patch here. I might want to add the decay to the plate reverb. So I'm going to click on this. You'll see it lights up, and then I click the decay button. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Hang on. What's going on? Did it? No? What am I doing wrong? Can you only have 4? Hang on a minute. No. I'm doing something wrong. Oh, I don't have edit. Come back here. All right. So I click there. It's not working. Oh, there it goes. I got it. You have to double click. So you can add as many buttons as you want. So I can come up here. I can add the character. Boom. So you can add a whole bunch of... Oh, so you turn. I'm clicking. It's working for turning too. So if it's turn it. There you go. So now you've got all these buttons up here that you can just have easy access to whenever you want. And the other cool thing is if we jump out of here, you see this macro that we have here in AUM? Whatever's the first one. So our first one in here is attack. So I'll just make this a little bit smaller. So the first macro here will be the attack. Oh, sorry, it's to the envelope attack. So you've got whatever's in that first slot. You can see it turning down below, down here, and it's in here as well too. So really, really handy stuff there. Let's come back up here and turn this off and go to our modules. And sorry, we'll go to our presets and we'll start new. So let's make some drums. How do we do it? How do we make some drums? So obviously we are going to need a drum source. In fact, if you just start typing drum, you're going to get a drum sample. Now you can have sequences as well. So there's so much you can do here. You can have sequences. Let's have a look. And if you really want to learn how to use this, the best way to learn is to actually go in and look at the some of the presets. So you've got techniques down here. If I double tap on this, we've got, come back here. Techniques, we'll get back to it, you dickhead. So just on the basic thing. So we've got subtractive stuff, drum sequences. So you can see we've got a clock in here and a drum sequencer, all this kind of stuff. Volt, and the best way to learn, as I said, is to come in and have a look at how everything is connected. What's going on? What's going on here? Everything kind of most of the time moves from left to right. What's going where to try and understand how this all works. The other thing is too, in a drum sequencer, we just loaded this one up here, right? You also actually have a drum sequencer in here. Yeah? There's actually one already in here. So you can see here, if I hit run, I can come in and I can absolutely sequence the shit out of this. Just, come over here. We've got our drum sequencer. And you can come in and start doing things this way. Is it going to work for me? What have I done? I've chosen a patch that probably doesn't allow me to do this. But you can do that kind of stuff as well. I'm kidding. But you do have a drum sequencer in here. There we go. We've hit run. So you can come and do it this way, right? Press run, I know. You've also got stuff like probabilities. So you can take out less or more. You can mute individual channels over here in the sequencer. You can have multiple patterns, so I can skip to another pattern here and just go crazy and flick between patterns. And you'll notice, I'm pretty sure this here is velocity. Velocity is up. So we've got velocities here as well you can mess with. And when you have this open, you've got a whole bunch of other stuff down here as well that gets added to the drum sequencer, like ramping and stuff like that. Every time you open something, there's another new thing there. We can come back to our patches over here. Again, This is how I learn a lot of stuff. I'm not going to lie. This is how I learn a lot of stuff. I will just open patches and look at what's going on. And if you're not doing that, you should be, because presets and stuff that our developers give us are not only a great starting block, but a great way to learn the app as well and see what's actually going on. And trust me, without these, I'd be fucked. But look at the size of these, man. Look at this! Me personally, I don't have the patience. I would bash my head. I'm a let's go. But while I'm showing you this one, let me bring this down a bit. You've also got XY pads. Right? Depending on the modules that you add, if we take a look at this patch here, you can see we've got an XY pad in here, this one hidden in here. And when you add this in, it adds this little XY patch section over the top. So listen, not only is this a really, really deep modular synth, but it's got that whole iOS, I'm actually touching it kind of thing that we were talking about yesterday with Elastic OSC, about that the loss of being able to touch the iPad and actually interact with it. Well, this has got that in spades, as well as being a pretty massively deep modular synth. Let's come back to our presets here. I mean, there's just so much. You've got techniques, arpeggiators. Right, so I'm just playing the notes here. Holy shit, pole vaults here. What's going on, pole vault? Glad to see you're okay. We're all worried about you. How did you write a song and put it out, you weirdo? Anyway, good to see you, pole vault. Much love to both you and Sunshine. Generative sequencing possible with this. Right. There's just so much to go through it. Ratcheting. You want to know how to ratchet? Right? Double tap up here. We've got some jamming stuff in here. Drums. Oh, the other cool thing is, you know how earlier I added these knobs up here, up to the top here. You can actually add buttons as well. So see this run button? So let's just show you this. We'll clear this out of here. So if I click here and then come down to this run button, which is our clock, now we have this little button up here to start and stop our sequences when we're in standalone or in AUv3, you can do it. What else is in these packs? So we've got jamming, you've got a bunch of instruments. Make sure we're all good up here. So I'm just running this now with my keyboard. So again, you can see how easy this patch is to make. So we clear this. This is just a base. And there you go. There's all the things in it, right? So this is the perfect way to understand how that works. Coming back to my presets. You got growl basses in here. So a whole bunch of things for you to experiment with. And we've got some door effects in here too. Delays, wobbles, this kind of stuff. But let me come back over here to me, and show you where my drums were, because I made these drums earlier. All right, what are we going to do to close out? We've got 10 minutes. Just give me a sec, folks. Okay. Right. So let's try and make something. So let's, in here, hang on a minute. What did I just do then? Yeah, there we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Let's come over here. So first we're going to add in a drum sequencer. Let's drag this, throw this in here. Then we're going to do add a drum sample. And then we're going to come in and add what we're going to add. I saw the thing before. See, I'm still shit at this. It was that. I have to start again now. What a dickhead. So, drum sequencer. Let's throw that in a drum sample. We'll do a VCA. And let's do some cabling. So, we'll start off with blue. I'm going to send the V octave out. Where do I send this to? I think I send this to, I don't even know what I'm doing. To the trigger. I think that's what we do. I think it goes to the trigger. The start goes to the gate goes to, oh fuck, I don't even know what I'm doing. I've lost the plot. It's too much. You know, I'm just going to wrap it up here. I suck at making this stuff, so I'm just not going to do it. But I made this earlier, so I'm going to go with this. Let me show you what I made earlier. Oh, man. I think it's this one. Is this the AUv3 one I made? That's not it. It's this one. There we go. That's the one I made. Listen to this. All right. So let's make something with the patches I already made. Oh man, I suck. I'm going to come in here. We're going to add a melody bud. Let's do a melody bud by Chem. And we'll send this out to the second Moomu. I'm a modular queen. Does multiple Moomus make it? I don't know. We're going to have to get confirmation. We're going to have to get confirmation from Dave on that one. Studio 6. Is that the case? Anyway, look, if you are into modular synthesis, it's a really neat app. I don't know enough. As soon as it gets beyond like 4 modules, my brain explodes. But let me tell you, like if you're into this, you're going to just absolutely be chugging at the goddamn, you're going to be frothing at the mouth to get into this. It's only $10. It does so much more than what I've done today. I've done a complete disservice to this app. But I know there's a heap of modular people out there who are absolutely frothing over stuff like this. So I can't recommend it enough. It's just really, really nice. As I said, I was on the beta. I've been on the finished version. I haven't had a crash once. And it's a fucking lot cheaper than buying a Euro rack. So yeah, what a great way to learn modular synthesis though, yeah? If it's something that you wanted to take up, why not grab one of these apps? Why not grab it $10 and bury your mind into some modular synthesis? All right, that's going to do it for me, my friends. You know how nervous I was about. I'm always nervous about modular synth. Because I try to like to know what I'm talking about. And here's the thing: you can't know everything, folks. But what you can do is do your best to understand it to the best that you can. All right. Thank you so much, Studio 6+1, for shooting me the code to get into it. It does look awesome, does it? It is awesome. It just is awesome. And we might have some giveaways on Patreon. I don't know. I haven't asked yet, but we may have. So we'll see Studio 6 over on our Patreon anyway, because he hangs out with us all on the weekends. Good stuff. There's a Patreon link if you want to come over and join. $5 a month Patrons, and you get a chance to win stuff. $1 a month, and we'll master your music. All right, let's go out with my really cool song. Do the things that make you happy. Oh, do I? I'll check. Thank you so much. So we got three to give away. Do the things that make you happy. Stay awake. Let's Oj. We all rise together. See ya.